Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I am going to discuss how we can do unpivoting of data in SQL. So let's say you have a data which is in wide format and you may want to convert that into the long format. So meaning you have a number of columns for the specific category of the data, and you may want to get all those columns converted in a single column value, or we can say the row values of any column, and then you can perform the summarization kind of things, or you can just transpose the part of table using the this unpivot operation. But how to do that, right? So here definition is very simple, just transforming a columns into rows, it is fine. But when or how we can use this is what we are going to discuss in this video. Again, this is one of the advanced SQL interview questions. So if you are preparing for the data engineering purpose interviews, definitely these questions may comes to you. Okay, so here in SQL Server, we have two methods to perform the unpivoting. First one is unpivot, and second one is a cross apply. And in MySQL, PostgreSQL, or SQL Server, we can use the union all. Union all is going to this. This is the union all is not a method, but it's a way to derive the data. So we can use this also across all the databases to get the data into the long format. Oracle also has the unpivot method directly. So how to write a function, when to write when to unpivot the data. Let's say, okay. So let's say this is not, this is what we have to do. So let's say here we have a data in this format, meaning I have ID, the name of the student. This is the data for the student's marks. Then subject wise columns are created, and I don't want this. I want to create a single column for the subject, and then respective marks will be in the respective row. So to do this kind of transformations, what we can do is we can use the unpivot method. So here only I'm going to use the unpivot. So let's say, okay. So to perform the unpivot, obviously new columns are defined, because we are going to reduce the number of columns and we are going to increase the number of rows. So what I will do, I will define the column select. First one is student ID, then name. These columns will be remain as it is. The next column will be like subject, and the next column will be marks. This is how we can define the statement. But yes, from where these marks and subject columns come, because here in this we don't have subject and marks. So you will be able to see here the warning message from this uh, SQL Server, okay, intelligence. So here I'm going to use the unpivot function, right? So unpivot, but what you want to do? So unpivot, I would like to say marks for subject, right? So this is how you are supposed to define marks for subject, and then you can pass the list of columns here. So let me say Marathi, or we don't need to use the quotation. Marathi, then Hindi, then English. So these are the marks, or the columns which has a marks value, right? So marks for subject, these are the subjects will be converted to the or these are the columns will be unpivoted. And if I execute this, you will be able to see the name of subject and associated marks, right? So here, this is the one way to do this. If I want to get the same output using the union all also, so we can do that. But how to do that? First of all, what we need, okay, the structure is in front of you. So just imagine this is what the output you are looking for. So what I will do is I will say select, then first of all my column id and name is as it is, then my next column will be subject, right? Next column will be subject, but the column value should be the marks. Whatever the subject name is there, it should be Marathi, because see, first of all, in one go we cannot get the data of any specific column in single select statement. So we are going see why we are using union, because we are going to write a multiple select statements. So for Marathi, okay, so I will say, okay, this will not be a, let me say subject, right? So here what I did is, let's try to understand this. This is very important. First of all, I specified id and name. These columns I want as it is from the this table. Okay, so I will use that later. Then I defined a value for subject column. So value is Marathi. Okay, this is what the value of my subject column. But how I will get the value? So obviously here I'll get the value from the Marathi column. The column name is Marathi, but this will be your marks. So I will say marks. I will say marks, or like this, I can say marks, and I am going to fetch all these details from this table. So I just used two alias. I am not considering the other columns in this query. I'm just considering the marks for the Marathi. So what output I'll get from this expression, you will be able to see that this is what the output I derived. Okay, what I did, I didn't name as it is. I created a new column subject. I kept that is as a literal column, we can say. So I specified the value, and then that will be used in the subject column. Then I used the Marathi column because this has a values. Then I said this will be my new column, right? So this is how we derived the values for one subject. Now let me say for Hindi, subject will be subject, marks will comes from the Hindi column, right? Similarly, you just have to change it for the English also. So let me say marks are coming from the English column, but yes, we will. So here you can see the output of all these three, right? So same number of columns, same column names, and yes, so this data is not one below the other as of now, because I have not appended this. So I will go and I will say union all. Okay, then again remove this, and here you will say union all, right? So now the combined result of all these three statement will be your unpivoted data, right? This is what we were getting earlier with this also. If you execute this, right, 15 number of rows, this is fine. So there is a one more way to do this. There is a one more way to do this. That is nothing but by using the cross apply function in SQL Server. But this function is only useful for the SQL Server. So how to use this? Again, very very simple. Okay, so this I will copy because this will be the same. So here let me keep some gap. Okay, so marks and subjects are going to come from the cross tab. So this is what two new columns we have added in the select statement, but these columns are not yet defined. So I will go and I will say cross, then I will say apply, and then here, okay, instead of values, I would like to say marks. Okay, not marks. I can say values here because it is going to pick the values of that column. Okay, so let me say one, say two, because we are going to unpivot the three columns. Okay, if you are going to be unpivot the multiple columns, then you can use those many number of these brackets in the cross apply. So here I will say this will be the Marathi, and the value will come from the obviously Marathi column, right? Then again here the value will be Hindi. We are yet to define these two columns. Okay, so it will come from the Hindi. Then again here English, and then the values will come from English column, right? So this is how we can define, but the problem is that you are supposed to say we have, okay, as I used as, and this will be the values. So you can use anything here, or you can say unpivoted also. This is what the value, let me say subject and then marks, right? So these two columns are referenced here. The value for the subject is Marathi, Hindi, English. Value for the marks will come from that specific column, and if I execute this, you will get the same output as unpivoted method or union all method, right? So this is the way to unpivot the data in SQL. I hope you like the content. Please do not forget to subscribe the web champ. Happy learning.